What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm out here tonight doing an overnight in Florida wilderness area. I am solo for today's trip. It's a beautiful area so far. Hiking back to a hidden pond. It's called Hidden Pond. It's kind of an oasis in this scrub land. It's supposed to be super popular, but I'm actually filming this on Easter while I was in the middle of a road trip, and fingers crossed I'm gonna have the place to myself. I pulled into the parking lot, took a important inventory of all the gear that I needed to bring, and then I've been hiking back here for a little while. I'm gonna get back to this oasis, pond, whatever you call it. I'm gonna set up camp. We're gonna lay back. We're gonna enjoy this beautiful Florida wilderness. Got a couple of beers to drink. Got a nice meal to cook up for us tonight. But before I do any of that, I've got to take a little nip off of the old banana flask. Woo! Ooh, goodness sakes. That is a local favorite. Doggone it, I forgot the name. Florida Straight Bourbon from St. Augustine Distillery. Whew, yeah. And there you have it. That was a $56 bottle of bourbon. Not quite sure if it's worth 56 bucks, but we bought it, so we're drinking it. You only live once, right? Okay, let's get the heck on down the trail here. Just off the trail here, taking a quick little breather. I'm very close, but yeah, I've already drank up all my water. Gotta filter some water when I get to the lake here. Place is crawling with bugs. Of course it is, it's Florida. I didn't want to be on the ground too much, so I brought a chair and a table. Got some extra weight in the pack. Brought a 6-pack with me too. Hopefully we'll get that down and won't be carrying most of that out on the way back out of here. Plus I'll eat my food and all that good jazz. So just taking a little breather, and get back on the trail in a second here. So I'm just out here hiking around, looking for a suitable camp spot. I left the backpack back on the other side, back over there. So just quicker to do it quick on foot without the pack. But I saw this, so I wanted to show you guys. I think that's an empty shell. I think that's dead. Maybe not, but we're not gonna bug him. Just want to get some quick footage of them. Pretty cool. Woo! There was a couple cool campsites over there, but one in particular that had a gorgeous view of the sunset. Unfortunately, it was really difficult to access the water, and I just really need to make sure I'm hydrated because I got another trip after this in South Carolina that we're doing. So don't want to be feeling sick for it, so had to opt for the slightly less picturesque campsite. But that's okay, because this one's going to be a wonderful campsite anyhow. Like I said, this is a popular campsite, so you may hear voices in the background. There's some other campers going for a dip in the little pond that's right next to us, so I'll go check that out in a little bit. But just a heads up for that. Nothing wrong with sharing the gorgeous spots in the wilderness with people. Smart thing to do would have been to get the flip-flops on before I walked over to get the water, but that's all right. So my electronics there. So I've got 2 liters of water in me now. Feeling a lot more hydrated, but that won't be all. I'll drink more. Plus I'll have some in my rehydrated food. And then get this puppy blown up here. So we'll cuddle in over there. I got all my junk over here, so it's nice to have enough space for all your gear in here. This is a really roomy tent. I actually like this one a lot. First time using it, I set it up at home a couple times, made sure the pad was going to fit in here and everything, but am I recording? Okay, yeah. Just ran over there and killed a 1/3 liter of water, so should be nice and hydrated at this point. Still filtering some more, and I'll probably go fill that bag up one more time before we get started with our dinner here. And I'm going to have to make a small fire in order to cook on, if I don't have a stove or anything like that with me. So yeah, I gotta go get some twigs and we'll have a small fire in this mound over here. Not sure if I explained this correctly earlier, but I walked the whole perimeter of this kind of secondary lake. It's not really like it's called a lake, but it's really more of like a marsh. Walked the whole thing. There was only the one small side that had campsites on it. They were really, really pretty. But it was just difficult to get access to any water over there, so I didn't end up camping over there. I ended up camping over here, but there's some really, really pretty campsites. But yeah, there's a couple other people camp back here too, and chat. I had a couple chats with them. Nice folks. This is a popular spot to come camping, so woo. So yeah, get the rest of our bed set up, and then we'll get into dinner here. So all of this stuff just been burnt to a crisp. There was wildfires back in this area. I could probably, I mean, look at that. I think this is just dead standing. And I could probably chop this and take this back to camp, but we're gonna play this a little bit safe. And that's a whole big old piece. That gives us everything we need. That's one good one right there. I mean, that's just dead. That's not even connected to anything. Hello. Thought I see an eyeball over there. I do not like that one bit. Take this piece out. Oh, set it up right there. Here's another good piece here. Oh, doggone it. Okay, now we just got to get this back to camp. This will be fun. So yeah, I think you can see, pretty painfully obvious this one is deader than a doornail. There's a big old check going all the way up and down it. All these logs are split. This is dead. So we're gonna go ahead and take this one back with us here. I think the Forest Service will probably come out and prune these eventually anyway. So we're gonna take this. We'll call this good. Yeah, you can see they're covered in, those trees are covered in ash. Whew. Couple more for the pile there. I'll go ahead and get this sucker out of here. We'll just make this into a bit of a circle here. So that can be kind of our fire pit. Oh man, I hate when people do this stuff. Take that with us. Okay. Okay. We'll cut this guy in half here for a base. Throw another couple pieces on here. Oh wow, there is a gorgeous sky above me. I gotta take some photos. Give me a minute and I'll get some photos. Breakfast. We got Mrs. Banana's refried beans that we're going to rehydrate. Some corn tortillas and some green onions we'll chop up here. mean, that is about what refried beans are supposed to look like. This works really well. Man, this is great. Okay, nice big healthy serving there. Some green onions, fresh green onions on there. And all the hot sauce, tons of hot sauce. Oh yeah, you gotta see this. Woo! I mean, that is not half bad for a camp meal, if I do say so myself. And of course I gotta shout out the lovely Mrs. Bananas. Thanks, babe. Okay, moment of truth here. Mmm. That is good. Mmm. That is fantastic. Woo! Oh yeah, that's gonna be a healthy one. Lots of green onions. I mean, come on now. All right, these are wonderful. I'm gonna finish these off and check back with you in a few. Oh boy, do I got some schmutz? Yeah, might need a little freshen up over at the lake. We'll hit the lake before the night is done. If you've already heard me talk about this, then I apologize, but there are new people joining the channel all the time, and they constantly question me about this. So I just like to make sure I explain it once in a while to people. My pot, my pan, and my spoon are all titanium. This is the same metal that jet engines are made out of. It's super lightweight, and it's fantastic for backpacking type of stuff. What is really cool, and I learned this from watching a really cool channel that I've watched for years. His channel is called Lone Wolf 902. You can take titanium like this, put it right in the fire, and you just leave it in there long enough. When you pull it out, all this food will be completely burnt to where it's just a soot, and you can just rinse it, and it comes right clean. So yeah, so I just use titanium for cookware. I just love it. It's a fantastic way of doing the dishes. Otherwise, doing the dishes while you're camping is a real pain, and that's why people eat food out of bags. But I try not to do that. I like to use reusable containers as much as possible. I know I got some plastic bags over here. But anyway, we're gonna get this in the fire, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And just for good measure. Take a look around the immediate area of the campsite. Is that not cool? I just love all this like mossy tree stuff. It's just so cool. These crazy like twisty trees. Just really cool. Just love this campsite. It's killer. I'm very fortunate to have had it. Whew. Man, I am a sight. I tell you what. I just need to splash some water on my face. I think we'll be We'll be all good. We'll do that in a minute when we hang the bear bag here. I wanted to go ahead and address something real quick because I know everybody is going to ask, why didn't you go to the Everglades? I definitely plan to go to the Everglades in the future. It's a bucket list item. Mrs. Bananas and I got the opportunity to stay at a family member's vacation home. And it was a super, super nice property. I was there with her parents, who I'm very close with. And Mrs. Bananas flew down. I drove all the way here from Ohio because I wanted to take advantage of some backpacking also while I was down here. From where I was, it was 3.5 hours to get to the Everglades and then 3.5 hours back. So it's adding 7 hours to my trip. And I have a spot that I really, really want to do that I've been eyeballing for over a year. That's in Northwest South Carolina. And it's right in the foothills of the Appalachians. And I'm super, super pumped about it. On top of that, filming in a national park, which the Everglades, believe it or not, if you don't know, is a national park. There are some tricky legal things that go along with that. So I could have gone to the Everglades, but you wouldn't have seen it. And you know, most of the time that I'm camping, not always, but most of the time, I like to make a video and share it with you guys. You know, I appreciate each and every one of you. I know I say it. I know it probably sound like a broken record, but I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Every single one of you makes it possible for me to be able to do this. So it means a lot to me. So I definitely plan to do the Everglades in the future. I'm considering coming back this way and doing a big road trip with the canoe on top of the car. But yes, I would have loved to go to the Everglades. It just wasn't in the cards this time. I did spend a week at this like gorgeous beachfront property. It was absolutely crazy. I appreciate being included, and thank you to Mrs. Banana's parents for bringing me along for the ride. We had an absolutely fantastic time. Throughout the course of that week, I took a ton of pictures and videos. Mrs. Bananas and we went to this crazy zoo. We kayaked through the zoo. We fed these birds, and they were jumping all over our heads, and they were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. We saw alligators. You know, we went to a nature preserve. We saw manatees. I was able to get some really good footage. We saw manatees twice. There was another spot where manatees hang out, and they have a kind of a viewing deck, and I was able to get some of that. You know, went swimming in the ocean. It was a wonderful time, and I'll be throwing a little vlog type of series that features Mrs. Bananas and company, and I'll be throwing that up on Patreon. Probably be 2 parts at this point, I think. But yeah, that's just a little something extra. You know, I know not everybody can do Patreon or wants to do Patreon, and I completely understand that, but it's something that helps me pay the bills. So for the people who support me over there, I try to give you guys a little something extra. So that is over there. If you guys are interested in signing up for it, part 1 should be up by now. Yeah, so I just wanted to catch everybody up. I appreciate all of you for sticking with me this far into the video. We definitely have some cool stuff in the morning. I'm going to make breakfast, give you guys like a nice kind of, you know, detailed tour around. So thank you guys so much. The video is not done. Stay tuned for more. Figured I might as well get this kindling all piled up and ready for the morning. And whatever I don't use, somebody else can deal with next time. And I brought this big old knife instead of my axe, so I figure I might as well use it. I sharpened it up before I got on the trail too, so let's just play with this guy. Okay. Ugh. I got all my kindling processed here. Slightly bigger stuff. Maybe I won't need all of that, but there should be plenty to cook my food in the morning. And then I got a little bit of starter stuff for the next person who pops along. Woo! All right, we're good. Oh. Good night. All right, we'll go ahead and get this camp torn down here. this is not an area where you want to mess around with fire safety. This is a forest that was decimated by wildfires in the past. Tons and tons of trees are still completely burnt up. You should always take putting your fire out seriously, but super especially in a case like this and in a landscape like this. Yeah, there is something really cool about doing, you know, multiple night camps, and honestly I wish I wasn't leaving. It would be really nice to just stick around. But I want to hit that other location, and to be perfectly honest, I have to get home because I have to do my taxes. But I'm going to be on the road for a few more days, and I'm not sure when the next time I'm going to get a chance to shower is. So we're going to take advantage of the opportunities we got here. Whew. Refreshing. Woo. Yeah, so I'm just trying out this new tent from a pretty obscure brand. I couldn't find any reviews anywhere on the internet, but so far I like it a lot. It's a trekking pole tent, so it uses the trekking poles to set up. One thing that I like about the more like freestanding backpacking style tent, like the nature hike that I have, is you can pick it up and it's so lightweight you can shake it out and shake all the dirt out. So you can't do that here, but what you can do is just turn it inside out. And that's pretty much, does about the same thing. So I've dumped about 5 liters of water on this. It is cold to the touch. 100% this is out. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. We are good. Didn't really do much of a complete tour around the camp, so I wanted to kind of show you guys. That burn pit's like right in the middle. So all my stuff over there. And then we're overlooking the pond here, which is really cool. I feel like I didn't get enough shots of these, but they are really cool. Not exactly sure what these trees are called. It's kind of a southern thing. It's got that moss hanging down there. Very cool. And then you walk through over here. Then this leads out to a kind of marshy kind of area. There's a trail that goes around this way, and there's campsites all over here. There's one good one back over here. I was talking with the lady yesterday, and a young couple had one right over this way too. Very cool location. All right, everybody. This is where I'm gonna leave you. That is another one in the books. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked what you saw and you haven't done so already, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that banana. I want to say a big, big thank you to everybody for watching the video. It means the world to me. You all make it possible for me to be able to do this, and I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching the video. We're going to catch you on the next one. Bye now.